What to say about this game? I have a really hard time rating it. There were some glitchy bug mechanics and things like that, and I don't know why they didn't bother me that much in this game. They were annoying, no doubt, but I can't explain why it didn't bother me that much for the glitches. Maybe it's just because it was a smaller group, or, you know, I'm not entirely sure, but CD Projekt Red has a lot to be proud of in this game. I think this was a game that many of us RPG fans and RPG enthusiasts really looked forward to and really enjoyed. The storyline was deep, it was dark, and it was solid. I mean, generally games that have kind of the slew of glitches and the, you know, just some clunkier issues and mechanic-wise and everything, I have a hard time rating well, but I'm really giving this game probably something about a 9 out of 10. The story just really captured me. It really pulled me in, and I think beyond that, I cannot wait to play this game again. I haven't been this excited to play a game again since Dragon Age Origins. It's just that I can't wait to see Yorvit's path now and see everything I missed there. And even then, I'll probably play it again just to see about other stuff that I missed. I'm sure there was a whole slew of stuff that I missed, especially in Act 3. I actually didn't even mean to rush Act 3. A lot of people yelled at me about rushing it. I was just so gripped in the story that I couldn't even really think side questing at all. I had to know what happened. And I think that's the sign of a really great game when they're able to do something like that. Especially, too, since I had someone from CD Projekt Red actually contact me, which, that nerd fantasy come true there. But it was a fantastic game, and I really encourage you to check it out if you guys enjoyed the LP, to get it yourself and have fun with it yourself. It just feels like one of those games that you really can get lost into. And I'm curious to play it now without commentating and without worrying about timers and trying to stay funny and stay entertaining, but just to let myself drop into the immersions even more. You know, it was funny, I was thinking of Dragon Age Origins when playing this game, because one of my leading thoughts was, I can't wait to try this next time I play, or I can't wait to go down this path next time I play. And in Origins, I kind of felt the same way, and I really think that they did an outstanding job bringing this world of The Witcher alive, and bringing this world of, you know, a character who is already developed and who already has a character, you know, who already has a background, to still make you feel like you're writing his story is difficult. And you can kind of see how difficult it is with a game like Dragon Age 2. I think most of us who played it, myself and friends that I've talked with, never really felt like Hawke was our character. Not as much as the Grey Warden that we owned from Origins. In this game, though, I felt pretty well connected to Geralt. I felt they made him a very real character, that, you know, they gave you some great choices in this game, some really, really solid moral dilemmas. And I think any game that can make you pause and stop and think about the choice that you're making without just willy-nilly making it really is doing their job very, very well. Again, major appreciation to CD Projekt Red for this. It really was a fascinating game. I started rereading The Blood of Elves again, the Witcher book, just last night, just because I was so excited to get through this game and get more into it. And despite that it wasn't as many parts as some of my other games, I think what really brought this about more is that there's so much untapped game that I missed, and that I didn't miss because I rushed. Yes, I rushed the last act, and it really was just because I got so gripped into the story that I couldn't even think about side questing. They did. I love the job, though, the relationship that they built with Triss and Geralt. And just how different things might be based on some other choices in the game that I would make. I'm really curious to see what they do. And I still feel like there's so much potential more for this game, too. I think they have a great engine. And I'm really looking forward to some of the DLC that they come out with. They have promised that all the DLC will be free, and for that alone should give you credit. I think what really separated this game for me was that there's a level of passion in the developers, I think, that you can almost easily spot in games today, and I can't quantify it. I can't explain why. I'm not saying that the producers of the BioWare games now aren't as passionate about their development, but I think with something like CD Projekt Red, I might be delusional about it, I might be wrong, but I don't think that their goal as a company was to make money as much as it was to make a fantastic game. And I think that's an obvious thing in some people. I'm sure the BioWare development staff really did put a lot into Dragon Age 2, despite kind of the disappointment that many of us as fans felt on it. I put a lot more of that into EA's court as to, you know, what EA did onto them. But, you know, I really felt like this team was passionate about the game that they made. And for it to come out of Poland, you know, I mean, this isn't a blockbuster development. I mean, I think this is passionate developers who wanted to bring a story that, you know, they love of their country. And as I said, for those of you who hadn't heard, President Obama received the Witcher 2 video game, and I'm sorry, and the books, and I think that says of Poland's pride in this. I'd like to extend a hearty thank you to our wives, husbands, significant others, and children, large and small. In brief, to all our loved ones for the patience they showed us and the support they provided throughout the time we worked on The Witcher 2. This game is likewise your achievement. It's fantastic. I don't know how many of you out there in YouTube world have ever video gamed programmed before, or even programming in general. It's not what you think if you've never touched programming before. It's not putting little things on a screen and watching them go. It's hours upon hours upon hours of sifting through tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of lines of code, looking for problems, looking for little issues. And you know, I remember when I did some very brief game programming. You know, we would be at the college there, DeSales University, where I went for hours in the library, you know, till basically they closed, with papers printed out all over the tables, all over the little conference tables there, as we're trying to sort stuff down. And so, you know, while I'm nowhere near a professional game developer could ever come close to that right now, I think it's really neat that, you know, they added in a little comment about that of, you know, it is a major sacrifice to game program, and I really love what they did in The Witcher 2. I can't express how much. And I guess the other thing that I should address too in it was my videos getting taken down by YouTube for the sexual scenes in them, which was ultimately my reason for moving on to Game Anyone. I really felt that it would have been an insult to these guys for me to censor those scenes. It was what their artists put in. I didn't feel that it was distastefully done. I think that I should have had the option to actually put age restrictions on my, you know, videos that only moderators of the YouTube staff can do. I will never understand that. Why I can't actually censor and restrict my own stuff boggles my mind. But, you know, I think that's where games can start to move. I didn't feel like, you know, I'm sitting there watching a dirty movie during the sex scenes, and I thought they were each very important. I thought the beginning one set a tone of Triss and Geralt, that they were lovers, but, you know, there was a deep friendship there, but they're lovers. I think the Elven Pool brought out something more in the character, and again, I tend to overread stuff a lot, but it was my interpretation as to why it should be left in, was that it brings out more to those characters, and it brings out more of their relationship. And the one with Vess, I almost felt that Geralt was almost obligated to do that to show that he wasn't in love with Triss, despite feelings. And I think any of us who have ever had real relationships and have dealt with some of those temptations, have dealt with some of those things. Now, we're not going to do the same things that Geralt may have done there, but that doesn't mean that, you know, it probably wasn't the exact same situation. It's interesting, and I thought it brought a very human side to The Witcher. I thought I can't help but snicker a little bit at the BioWare's, you know, you're still wearing your underwear when you're having sex, just because it's kind of silly. I mean, it's designed for mature audiences, and this story was a mature story. When you're talking about bastard sons, bastard daughters, you know, rape, and all of these other issues, torture and oppression, regicide, genocide, slaughter, and it's a complex story that has multiple layers. And I think a game like this, I almost think you have to play it through a couple times just so you can start to develop the entire story and develop exactly what's going on. Because there's a lot of untapped stuff that I missed. I know I missed it, and I'm happy I missed it because it gives me even more reason to go back into it. But no, definitely a hats off to CD Projekt Red. They put out just a great game, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to this coming out. I think they have announced it for the Xbox 360 and possibly the PS3. I'm not sure. I believe so. I'm sure I'll get hounded in the comments about me being wrong or something like that. But I like that they brought it to this PC first. And I even had some people yelling at me of the comment that you know, that they kind of built it as a PC game. No, they announced it for the Xbox first. I think it worked better as a PC game, and it'll probably work great as a console game, and people still love it, etc., etc. I still love my PC gaming more than my consoles. That's just my personal preference. I can't explain it. I think it was just because as a kid, my dad used to build a lot of computers, work on a lot of computers, and so we always had computer stuff all around the house, and because of it, that's what kind of really brought my love of computers and that technology. And I guess I've always just felt the most comfortable with a mouse and keyboard in my hands, or even one of the flight joysticks. We used to play a lot of flight simulator games, and I don't know, the controller, it still feels fine, but I still like my WASD, and you know, but this was a fantastic game, and with a great ending, because it does so much to open up a Witcher 3. I can't wait for a Witcher 3. I'm positive they've got to have one. They've got to resolve this issue with where is Yennefer and Triss. I have, by the way, I will be backing up this save onto a little USB drive just so that I don't lose the save file when and if they do have The Witcher 3 coming out. The only thing I pray on it is that I pray The Witcher 3 doesn't see light until about 3 or 4 years. A lot of people scream for their games early and want to play them early, and then scream when they seem underdeveloped. It's a horrible job as a game developer. that no matter what, you're screwed. You're either yelled at for your game taking too long to be produced, or you're yelled at because it's underdeveloped. But I would love to see this game, you know, in 3 to 4 years, really, really come out with The Witcher 3 to end this story and to end this saga. There's so many good things that I loved about this game. The environments I felt were all very varied and, you know, well made, well laid out. I hate to keep harping back at Dragon Age 2, and I'll probably get yelled at that in the comments, but I think the story of The Witcher 2 and the general atmosphere and the feel of it was what a lot of people hoped for in Dragon Age 2. And I could be wrong, but I think a lot of people wanted this darker story that was a little bit more fleshed out, these richer environments, and the fact that you can't expect the game to be entirely different, taking different paths, but when there's major differences, you know, in terms of environments explored and everything, and from what I've heard with the Orvith quest, it's very different from the Roach one. Maybe some of the same text, you know, some of the same quests, just slightly redone, but still, I really look forward to trying it again. And it does look like we are wrapping up here. The other thing I wanted to bring out in this game was the music. I almost completely skipped over the music. The music was fantastic. Absolutely great. And, I threw the CD in my car, and I feel a little bit more epic on my way to work. But another LP down. Who knows how many more to go. But I'm still enjoying LPing way too much to be stopping. And I hope you guys are still enjoying my LPs too much to stop watching. But looks like we're just about wrapped up. I'm hoping to see it. Give me some type of spoiler cutscene or teaser cutscene. Come on. Give me something. Maybe? Maybe? Come on. Come on. Crap, I forgot to take my sleeping pill. Damn, work is gonna suck tonight. It was a very good game and a very enjoyable game. This was certainly one of those games that I felt I got my money's worth, even one time through. And, we'll see what happens on my other playthroughs of it. I don't think I'll be recording them, by the way. I think I want to enjoy them just on my own. Come on. Don't send me back to the main menu, please. Please. Yes! Yes! Damn, not quite the end I hoped for. But, what can you do? I still thought it was a fantastic game, folks. Definitely worth the money for it, in my opinion. As I said, about a final score of that, I think I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 right now. As always, thank you very much for watching. And please tune in to the other LPs. Please tune into the future projects. Thanks for watching, folks. It is very, very much appreciated.